Hi guys, so today I have the October 2022 APG of the month from Spellbinders to share with you. I believe it's called 3D Poinsettia Surprise Envelope, or I might have an extra word in there. But they did send these items free of charge for my review, and of course all opinions are my own, and any links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items through those links. So I am working with this a little bit later. I usually launch all these videos at the beginning of the month. So by now you've probably seen exactly how this works. You have this outer die. You're going to double it up and make a really nice dimensional envelope, right? And along with that, you're going to have your little layers. Again, it's like kind of like her 3D vignettes, but a little bit different because you can see the sides on this are different than the 3D vignette. But what I'm thinking about doing today is making it into like what would be a loaded pocket. Like you can use this and put some cute things in it. So just a slightly different way of using the set. So I already pretty much unboxed this with the first video that I did, the whole total package unboxing. So I'll link that in the description box so you can check everything out. But basically you have layers, you know, to decorate everything up with. And then you have your poinsettias. You're going to kind of like put them up in here and everywhere, so it's just like really pretty and just like a pocket full of poinsettias, right? So we have all these different layers here. We have leaves, centers, little dots, like just whatever you want to use those for. We have swirls, and then some other little accent pieces, and then the word "'tis the season" that you can pop in, and Merry Christmas. And last time I had this off to the side, but basically it helps you decorate the side if that's what you want, or use it however you like, right? I don't know if these layer into it. I guess those do too. Yeah, real close if you want to use that for like that one. What I'm going to do is grab some papers and we'll just get started. Just to start, I'm going to cut a few different things. Let's put this. I think I'll just do a white envelope base. Off-white looks really pretty too, but I'm just going to go with white today. So we'll need a couple of these. If you want like a divider in there, I'm probably just going to use one today, but you know, you can fit in a couple. It depends on what you want to stuff your envelope with, right? But I'll just use one today. And then we have this guy. We'll need both of these, so, well, two of these, should I say. So I'm going to cut this one twice, and then we're going to do some modifications with that, okay? So for now, we need those. And then I'm going to take, for decoration, we have this little guy. It's just a little cutie thing that you can use, you know, here and there. We're going to need this basically for the front. We're going to decorate the top of the back one, right? So if you think about it, it's going to be two envelope layers, right? The back and then the front piece. The front piece we're going to divot out. I'll show you what it looks like if you don't divot it out, and then if you want to, you know, you can do that. We're basically decorating this because it's going to be covered up anyway inside, and then we're going to cover the front piece. So we're going to cut two of this, one of this, and with this guy I'm just going to cut one with the layer, and as you can see it's squared off on top but it's rounded at the bottom, really nice and stylized. So we'll cut that guy out. And if you just want a background layer behind that, let's say so it's gold showing, then you can also cut this background by itself, right? So lots of ways to layer it up. You can definitely cut this right into your envelope, but that would be very delicate and a little bit more difficult to work with, right? Because your envelope would be kind of thin in areas. So we have that. And then for the decoration on the top, I'll do the same thing. I'll cut this guy. I'll just put it close to that one. And let's see. We'll probably make some kind of little poinsettias so that we can do the loaded pocket with, like that's what you're loading it with. And maybe a memo notepad. I think that'd be really cute. So again, I'll run these through just to have those. And then I brought out a lot of paper, but honestly I don't think we're going to need that much paper. Yeah, so I'll get these guys run through. Oh, I should let you know the largest measurement on this die, because I know you guys like to know those things, is like just shorter than 5.5, like 5 3/8 by 5 and, you know, just under 5.5. So less than a 5.5 inch square on that one. Okay, guys? I'll be right back. Pretty thing here. And that's why we have that die with the little dots too, so you can just kind of pop in, oopsie, I don't want to hook that there, little berries if you want in this area, and maybe we'll do that. I know this is going to take a little minute because I'm doing some extra things, but everything I show you, you can either use to decorate the envelope itself with if you're doing the, you know, the pop-up thing, like what it's intended for. But we have those pieces. I'm trying to think. Okay, yeah, I think that's it for right now. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so here are our main pieces. I have one divider because I'm only going to have one divider. But if you want to put two, or you're supposed to stagger them if you're doing the poinsettia thing, like put one up here and one up top so that you can put poinsettias here. You can put poinsettias stuck on the lower one, and then, you know, it's lovely that way. So what I want to show you is you are going to turn one of these guys over. And, you know, most of this is going to be hidden in the inside or whatever, so I don't mind that this is the back cut, but if you want to, you just use this side, but you're still going to have to flip this, and the side is going to have that back cut, so hope that makes sense. So either way, I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to glue this down. And then the front one, you are definitely going to cut off that top tab, because obviously you can't see through it, unless you want it to be like a big envelope that, you know, has the like a full envelope. I don't know how to explain that. More like a gift bag or something, you know, that has that envelope look to it. Okay, so let's say we stick this little guy here, and in a way that's straight. Okay, and this front one, like I said, you're gonna basically fold this forward, score those. They have score lines that are really nice and just there, ready to go. And then this one would fold backward, right? You don't have to do this yet, but I just want you to imagine. So if you put this together, obviously it looks like that. So you want to get rid of this piece. So you can score it and cut it, or just cut it, or take it to your guillotine, or just, I'm just going to follow the line here. And just cut that off, because depending on what you want to do, this is going to get cut off too. So now I have this piece, and then your envelope can look like this, right? But it's really high up. So depending on what you're using this for, right? Maybe you are just going to put something cute, a little cocoa packet in there or something. You don't really care that this is complete, right? That's fine. What is intended is something a little bit different though. So I'll glue this down. And again, there's a round shape at the bottom of the envelope, so you definitely want to keep that down there. We do want this glued down pretty good because we're going to cut into this. Now you don't have to, like I said, yeah, I just showed you the other one. If you want to leave it on there, go for it. We are going to cut down into this, so I'm going to make sure that most of these things have at least a little bit of glue. Also to keep those down, right, those little swirly pieces. So I'm just putting a little glue wherever that looks like there's something loose. Okay, so we're going to lay this on here. Again, if you want to double it up with the background piece plus this, you know, go for it. Generally, I'll let this dry for a little bit, but we're going to keep moving on. You're going to take the larger piece, right? So you have the smaller one, this little guy. We don't want that, we want this one. And all you're going to do is line this up here and cut that out. Now, if you don't want to, don't do it. Or you're scared, don't do it, whatever. But you can just line this up here. Kind of in the center is what I'm looking at, around the edge, because obviously it's not going to, you know, we need it to cut this little triangle shape here. Since this is going to cut away, I'm going to put my tape more that way than the other way. And I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. Okay? And you know what? Just to make it quick, I'll just run it through the marquee here. So I just want to show you. By that time, it's a lot smaller, so it's something very easily done. Excuse me. And that's kind of why I was waiting for the glue to dry. Generally, wait for the glue to dry. Now, that looks just like that, and it's real, you know, obviously it's green, and then this other part. If you want to finish that off, if you don't like the look of just like being cut into, which doesn't bother me, it looks fine. You can also, like, let's say this piece was cut out of green, which it's not, but let's say it was. All you would do is then take this piece, so this offcut, this piece that we cut off, or run it through again and just get this top piece that you need from green paper or whatever color paper you want. So you have that, and then just put this on here wherever you think would be cute. Run it through. Actually, I'll show you what that looks like. And I might do it anyway, because now that I'm sitting here, I'm like, maybe I should do it anyway. When you run this through, you'll have this piece. Of course, I normally would tape that down, but since I use the marquee, I just put it on there. And then you can stick this back on here, and it finishes off that edge nicely, and then you can just trim off whatever is sticking out, like these little bits. But it lines up pretty well. So then that finishes it off. You know, sorry, you know what? So I'm just going to use this white piece. I think I was going to go ahead and do it in green, but it looks really nice and finished with the white piece. So let's just do that. So all I'm going to do is glue that down and nip away anything that seems to be extra, if there's a little bit of extra on the edges there. Ooh, and gold or something like that, like an accent. Lovely. Okay, so I'm just going to put this on here. Okay, so I'm going to hold that down so it doesn't move. And I'll be right back. In the meantime, I am going to cut a second one of this, because I think I'm going to use this for the base of the bottom, because this has no bottom, so if you're putting it, obviously it's going to fall down. So I've shown you in the past how to make a box out of literally anything, but this time we're going to use this since it's here. And like I said, here, if you want to nip off like that little end piece, I don't think it's the biggest deal, but you can definitely do that. And I would do the same thing for this one. It's like the smallest amount. Okay, and there it is. Okay, I'm gonna run this through and I'll be right back. So here's the fun part. So this again is a divider, and I'm only using one, and I'm just gonna place it like here, just to have a little brace that separates my little memo pad from this back piece, and then you can tuck in maybe some kind of embellishment or whatever you want. Again, if you want 3 layers, you know, 3 areas, then do one and then another one, or one right in front of the other one. It just depends on your project, right? I'm gonna go ahead and stick one down, like kind of a little bit higher up and towards the middle. Actually, more this way, because I know the memo pad has some thickness to it. So I'm gonna give it its little thickness there. So it's about split. Excuse me, I got a little something in my throat. Okay. Now, what I was discovering, I thought, oh, well, I can use the same piece, right, for the base, but it's wider than the side. So even though it's exactly the same width, right, which is perfect, it's too wide. You know what I'm saying? So then I thought, oh, well, I can still make this work, because what we're going to do is score this to make it work, to make a box base. So let's measure this guy, these side pieces, and you want it to be slightly, you know, smaller than that. Oh, it's 1 inch. Perfect. Oh my gosh, perfect. Okay, so that's 1 inch. Let's see how wide this one is. That's what we need to know where to score it. Excuse me. It's 1.5. Oh, that's so good, because really we want this bottom piece to be just a little bit smaller than the 1 inch, so it fits in there comfortably without like bothering anything. So basically we're going to score a 1/4 inch on either side. I don't remember exactly where I was at, but we were going to score this to fit. Now, I am going to cut the tabs off. I was going to keep them, but honestly, if I leave the tabs, it pushes out, so I'm just going to remove them. And this way, you know, you don't have to run this through. You can make your measurements and then think about what you want. But I'm going to cut them a little bit to the inside of that score line, just so it fits snugly. So just a little bit in. Same thing on this side. We don't want too much. Basically, this is going to fit in here. And you don't want it to be so big that it's just like in the way. You know what I'm saying? Like so much of this touching that's pushing it out or anything like that. You would think it's going to match up with this, but it won't, because it just doesn't. It gets a lot of thickness once you start folding and scoring things. So on this side, since this is 1 inch, and we measured this, and hopefully that's part of the video there. I don't recall, because I was going to do something and I changed my mind, so I just cut into it. Sorry for the rough edit. We're just going to score this. So just a 1/4 inch on either side. This is 1.5 inches. That's a 1 inch wide. And so really I would like to be a little smaller than the 1/4 inch, like on this side. I'll just show you. So on this, since this is 1.5, we're going to score at 1 1/4, and at 1/4 inch on this side, right? And when I score this, I'm going to push it so that it's more towards the inside than out, okay? So we're trying to get rid of like maybe a 1/16 of an inch by the time we score it, you know? And that's it. So this is going to be our box base. Again, I don't have side pieces. If you want to leave those little side pieces that were there, you're just going to do some more measurements. But it just makes it easy to fit in here. And nothing's going to fall out the side. I mean, I guess it depends on what you're going to put in there. So now we can imagine this is going to be like this, right? Very good. Okay, so let's put this to the side. And then we're going to move on and start making our little goodies to go inside. So with this one, I mean, you want to go ahead and stick this down, then stick this. That's probably what I'll do, since I haven't created this specific one before. I'm just kind of going for it. We're going to line this up. I love the way they make these things that are cut in a way that it just lines up perfect. Do you see what I'm saying? Like the rounded portion of this down here. Just fits in there really nicely. And of course, I look at the score line to make sure we're doing good. Everything's nice and flat, like straight, flush at the bottom. That looks very good. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue one of these sides in, and then I'll glue the other one when we get there, when I bring it over. So this guy, I'm just going to pop it in a little bit higher than this, the way they scored it at the bottom. Sorry, the way they cut it. See how it's kind of divoted in down here? I'm just avoiding that. But you can bring it down as far as you can if you like. I'm just staying away from that portion. Okay, and just hold that down. Again, nobody will know if this isn't perfectly straight at the bottom. They're not even going to see it. It's just there to help us put some structure in our little envelope. Okay, and then this guy's going to go here. And I always like to kind of just bring these up a little bit. And that guy's going to go there. So we can glue that and then glue this part. So let's do that. Again, you're paying attention to where you're placing that so it's nice and straight-ish. Now, generally, I would do this all at once, to be honest, but I don't want to overwhelm people like that. Put glue here, and just bring it all over and hold it, you know. But I'm doing a little bit at a time so you can take it step by step if you need to. So that's just the band that comes across here. Now, when you put this bottom part, if you don't glue it, you can still collapse this, which is part of the whole, 3D vignette thing. But I am going to glue this down. So once you glue this down, there's no collapsing it because that keeps it nice and sturdy. But if you don't glue it and you let it pop out, but again, we're making a loaded pocket. I don't see why you would not want it to, why you would want it to collapse, should I say. Okay, so I'm going to put this glue here, touching that guy, put glue all over this tab, and just bring it all together. So again, this is just something different I came up with. Of course, you can do the traditional use of this. And I have some notepads here. I was going to say, I feel like they're some crazy colors, but I'll probably use the lime green one just because it's green. But there's that. And then this guy, you always want to make sure those are touching, so I'm just going to give it a squeeze. Looking at the envelope, making sure it's nice and straight. So all I'm doing is looking down there, and if I can't get my hand in there, I'll just touch that with a bone folder. So just kind of lay it down and make sure the paper is making contact. You can see it from down here too, this down on this side. So that's nice. I'm basically running, the bone folder over, obviously, the tab. So it's pushing it down towards the paper, the front part of the envelope. So pushing the tab to the paper. That's all I'm doing there. And I was just looking at it to see how high and low it needs to be, and that looks pretty good. I think that's going to stay. Alright, so that's what it looks like on the inside. Again, I just cut that by hand, that's why it's a little bit crooked there. But pretty cute. So now we can put whatever we want in here. So what I'm going to do is just grab some paper. I'll probably echo what's going on here. So a couple things. What I noticed about this little, I thought, oh, you know what, maybe I can decorate this with these triangles. Because honestly, actually this is a funky shape anyway. This is 2.5 inch by 3 inch, so it's a little bit different anyway. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's long ways. Okay. Well, there we are. I thought this was a 3-inch pad. So they're a little different. Either way, this is not a perfect angle. I want you to see that. So see how it's straight, and there it's kind of angled funny because it's for an envelope, not just for a square. So if you want to use it to decorate like a notepad, it'll work, right? Because they're usually 3 inches square. You can put another one up here. It's going to have a funky kind of angle to it. So I'm not going to use that. But I did think about using this one. And let me see if that still works. Ooh, I was still going to think about using this one as an inlay, but again, this is not a 3-inch notepad. If it was 3 inches square, this would be a really cute inlay to put over the top of your cover. But either way, I'm going to create a cover for this one. My numbers are going to be funky because, again, this is not a 3-inch square pad, which is kind of a bummer. It's 2.5 by 3 inches, so 3 inches. They're usually, I'll give you the numbers really quick, but again, it's specific to this odd shape here. Yeah, they're 3/8 of an inch thick. So 3 inches plus 3/8. So I need a piece of paper that's 6 3/8 inch by 2.5. So 6 3/8 inch by 2.5, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I have that. And then we're just going to score this to go around the whole thing. But you know what I noticed? Even though this also has, you know, it's not perfectly like squared off, it fits almost perfect on the top like this, right? And the bottom. So I'm going to cut 2 of these out of green paper just to echo what's going on with our little envelope. So just bring that scrap back. And I'm just going to put that on there and tape that down and run through twice. Okay, so I'll have 2 of these when I come back. Our little decoration pieces, and I'll probably put a flower on that too, but for right now we're just going to put these little pieces. And so I'm just going to take this over, and without worrying about the 3/8 part, we're just going to score this at 3 inches. Now that's really just, I like mine just real snug, like right on the edges. It's up to you. If you want to add a little lip, then add more to it, but I'm going to turn it the other way and also do 3 inches. And that is that. Okay, and I don't really score it because I like it to be kind of loose, kind of doing its own thing. And then we're going to add these on here. Now I am going to put another little, I think, background piece of white paper, because what I want to do is add in a little piece of ribbon to tie it at the bottom. So I'm going to cut myself a couple of pieces of white paper. Let's see. This is, let me see how wide this is. Again, I'm just making this up as we go along, guys. Just having some fun here. 2 1/4. So I'm going to cut myself a piece of paper that's 2 3/8 by 2 7/8. 2 3/8 by 2 7/8. 2 pieces. Okay, so I have my 2 pieces. One of them is going to be decorated, so I'm just going to take this, pop this on here. And we are going to finish this off with some little red dots. So we have the greenery, which looks really pretty, but I'm also going to put, like I said, red dots there. Let's just pop this in here, kind of giving it an even distance, side to side from the top. And then this guy down here. Yeah, what a weird little notepad. It's funny. Okay. And then we'll stick this guy down here. Okay, and I go ahead and stick that guy down just to have it ready. I like to use a glue that is going to stay really, really nicely. So I'm going to use my APG for this because I like to line the whole thing. So just under the score line there, I'm going to put, oh, if it would come off, that'd be great. Sorry, the glue was just winding around itself, like around this for some reason. Okay. So we got this little guy, and I'm just going to place it right at the score line, straight as I can, and that's going to be that. And again, I leave it exactly the same size and works out pretty well. Okay, so for these guys on the back and on the front, and you know, you can run this through an embossing folder. Oh, we could have done that, add a little texture. I'm just going to take some seam binding. Oh, where did that get stuck? And that's probably too much. Let's see. Okay. And when I go to stick this down, I'm just going to put some seam binding on the back. That'll be my closure. And I always like to just start it with a little bit of something to help me stick that down. And I shall put the glue on this so we know exactly where that is. And just center it in there. Okay, so that's the back. And on the front, same thing. I'm going to put a little bit of APG to help me hold that down. And I like to keep it even, you know, whatever's going on up here. I got this little guy. Okay, I'm going to hold that down and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so that is all set up, ready to go, and I'm just going to close it up. And now it's just a matter of decorating, you know, everything else, and then possibly making some embellishments and things. So I don't know how long this video is as of now, but let's just tie that up. And that'll be at the bottom, or it could be side opening. I mean, it's up to you, however you like. I mean, let's see, if we put it in there. Yeah, actually it might be better side opening, but I can pop it in there like this too. So it fits actually really well in the other direction, but we can pop it in there like that, you know, obviously a little nicer. Okay, so we have that. So what I'm gonna do is, and I probably should have already grabbed it, guys, sorry. I have some bits and pieces of that new red and green metallic paper from Spellbinders. And so with this guy, I'm probably gonna cut a couple swirls of like some gold, probably matte gold paper. I like to do that, so I'll just run this through a few times. We're gonna need some little berries to decorate here and there, so you know, the smallest little area, I'll just run a couple of those through. And actually I'll just do that right now just to show you what I'm gonna do with that. I'll get those down, that way that's already done. I'm also gonna probably run through these guys with the same shiny red paper, and then we have green leaves, we have flower centers, or you know, however you want to do that. Maybe put a rhinestone instead, whatever it is that you want to do with your flowers. So if I ran this through, well, if I did run it through, what you're gonna do is just take my little guys there. Maybe I'll pop them out right here, just push them down so I know that they're just facing the right way already. And it's just a ton of cute little red buttons there. And I'm just going to come in here, and wherever I see a little area like by this holly, I'm just going to pick up one of these little guys and pop it down. Same thing if there's any on the, it's a little bit too much glue, on the little altered memo pad. I'm just removing some of that glue. Okay, so everywhere I have a little dot like there and there, in these areas, I'll add a little red dot, and I'll be right back. So a few different things here. Just ran all the little petals through at the same time, so you know, I was able to cut out layers, 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 and then I did 2 layers of the background one. So just real quick, this is probably going to be on here, on those swirls. Oh, I didn't cut any leaves yet. Okay, but for my flowers, again, you can mold these. I mean, if you want to shape them or, you know, anything fun like that with them. Since this is kind of like shiny paper already, I don't know that I'm going to be doing a lot of shaping or anything, but I'm just going to stack them like this. So hot glue would be great. Sorry, I was just debating if I should use hot glue or not, just because these are very slippery and metallic and it takes a while to set up. So I might be regretting that. But again, these are also, I don't know if you can tell, cinch and go flowers. So if you wanted to just put these on a stamen, just line them up in there and you're good to go. But for right now, I'm just going to put them on here. And this guy can go on here. Oopsie. See, I mean, this is going to take a while to set up. I might go ahead and hot glue gun the second flowers that I make the second set. And I'll tell you why, because those I'm probably going to put on a paper clip, just so it's like a little something fun to put in a loaded pocket. Yeah, these guys are going to give me a time with this paper. I'm going to start up the hot glue gun for the paper clips, but this guy I'm going to put on here, so I'm not too worried about it. And in the meantime, I'll also run through a couple of the leaves with this green, okay? I'll be right back. So I did cut some extra leaves and things. I was going to stick this down. You guys saw me do that, didn't you? Didn't you? Alright, well, that's just how it goes around here sometimes, or all the time. I'm just trying to think of something fun that we haven't done in the last few days, because I know I've been doing a lot of like stuffed pocket type things. So I want to show something a little more unexpected. But, and then with what's in the kit here, I think that'd be really fun. Okay, so there's that. And then I think I'm going to try and push this down at least a little bit. I'm not going to bring out a whole like flower shaping tools, but just like this. And I usually have a piece of foam here. Where is it? I do not know if this is dry quite yet, but again, for this, if it just stayed flat, it'd probably be better, so I can tuck it into my little gift pocket, you know. But let's just push it in the center just to get a little something, and then you can also kind of mess with these guys a little bit. And again, I'm not even using a tool, I'm just kind of something like that, just to give it a little bit of shape. And then we have our little flower centers that, you know what, I'll just dab, dab, dab the glue I still have in my hand. Pop that right down the center. And you see that? That is still not dry because of the metallic paper. It moved, right? I'm going to put this right here, and actually I can do that with my hot glue at this point. Sorry guys. I'm just putting that right here in the center, and then I'll, oh, oh, that wet glue. I don't want it to cover, there we go. Still want to be able to see the little red dots that we put there. They look like rhinestones just because of that metallic paper and the way it was popped out. Look at that. So cute. Oh my goodness. So yeah, when you're using metallic paper on metallic paper, I definitely recommend that you use a hot glue. I mean, because that's Nouveau Deluxe, and you guys know that stuff dries fast, but it's just not going to dry fast at this point. My little glue, if you want to shape that too, you can definitely shape it. Like I said, I kind of wanted to keep it flat. So let's put that there. This guy here. So with the other flowers, I'm going to layer them up just like you saw, but I'm going to layer them up with hot glue so they set up much faster. Oh, that's a sweetie. So that's our little altered memo. Put that to the side. I might use that, I may not. For these guys, when I layer them up, let me get something to... Just a little piece of scrap paper in case it wants to stick. So again, just this guy and that guy offset. Right? And then the medium size and the small guy offset too. You can layer them up however you like if you want to just keep layering. Just putting these guys together. And then those will go in there. I will still use the wet glue for the center because it's very fine, as you can see, with all the little like porous holes in there. We don't want to get hot glue all over that. Okay, and again, I'm leaving this flat because I'm going to make a paper clip, and you can fluff it up. What I'm saying, I didn't push down the center like I did in the other one. Okay, I'm going to do the other one just like this, and I'll be right back. Typical. Normally I would put like a little circle or something behind here, but what I'm going to do is just go for it. So this is a paper clip. Of course you can get like prettier paper clips. This is just a silver one from like the dollar store. And what I'm going to do is put some hot glue right here. It might seem weird. What I want to do first is stick my little flower on. Okay, that's not going to keep it, obviously. But what I want to do next is from the back, see where I can place these so you still see these green. So this is just basically the larger flower. And I'm just going to put those on there to help keep it together, but also look pretty on the front. So this paperclip definitely has a back side. So what I'm doing is keeping those things together so it's touching the flower and holding that together. Okay, and I cut 2 for each one because I thought it'd be prettier with more than just the one set of leaves. So again, just back there. Now we have these pretty little paper clips and a notepad, and then I went ahead and grabbed a little red pen from my stash that would look really nice, I think, with this. So let me finish up the second one and I'll be right back. So we have all our stuff back here. I have my items, I have my little clippies. I'm going to make one more simple little something to tuck in here, I think. Oh, you know, should I make a whole bow? I was just going to tuck it in like this. But of course a whole bow would be look lovely. And when you do that, a lot of times it does want to come apart a little bit, so what I do is you kind of just open it up just a little bit. Get a little hot glue in there. And then give it a tug again, nice and quick, so that hot glue will hold it down for you. And then you don't have to worry about it later. And I mean, I like the way it's really kind of fun, but I'm going to cut a little bit like that. That's just a little something. We'll see. We may or may not need it. Okay, so we have our little guy. Oh, and then we even have the Merry Christmases and stuff like that. I'm going to put that right in there. So you see that little bow. Again, I was going to put these on packaging, so if you want to put this in like a little package and you can slip it in there and it'll look really cute, or you can just go ahead and clip them onto like that divider, which I think is what I'm going to do here. And then maybe one a little bit lower, since they are on paper clips, so you can kind of play with that a little bit. Maybe put this guy in the center, just to fill it out. A little something in there. Oh my goodness, that is cute. I'll bring that one up a little, push this one down a little bit more, just to have a little shape in there. And then we have a space for our pen. It can go in the front, it can go, you know, behind. I'm going to put it right back there, so it's just kind of out. Ooh, that is so cute. Okay, again, I have this little swirl if I wanted to maybe glue this on that middle piece there, or I can glue it back here, stick it right here in the front. Maybe that's what I'll do, because we can then also cut. We have Merry Christmas. Sorry guys, I have everything all over here. And we have 'Tis the Season. Oh my goodness. Maybe we'll do Merry Christmas. Let's do Merry Christmas with the bright red, just to bring red up in the front again. And then just cut out some white paper like to mat it. So to do that, this paper I believe was die cut. I don't know if you can see, there's a big square. So it should be pretty even here. Now I'm just trying to see what I would want if I had this on here. Maybe a 1/2 inch. Let's try 1/2 inch. Ooh, I don't know if I can do 1/2 inch on here. Let me see. We need, this is 5, and I'm going to cut it at 5 inches. And that gives me a little bit less than 1/2 inch. So let's say there. I'm just giving myself a strip so I can just put this on before I do anything else. There we go. I'm going to run this through so then the lettering, whatever I put behind it, will show up. And then I'll cut this extra strip off, okay? Oopsie. So I'll need to stick it down on this side too, so it doesn't move. That's not great right there. We need it right here with tape. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna run this through and I'll be right back. That was roughly 1/2 inch. I can take this to my guillotine, or I can just cut it like that. And then I'm going to put this on a white piece of paper and just try to find a straight side. Let me see here. Here we go. There's a scrap here. We have the little lettering there if you want to use it. What I'm going to do is just glue that down and then just trim away the excess. So there's no real measurement here or anything. I did kind of mess that up just a little bit there. So I'm just going to put it right in the corner. And again, if that was 1/2 inch, I might add an extra 1/8 of an inch when I go to cut it, like 5/8, you know. But for right now, I'm just sticking it down. Okay, and then I'll take it to my trimmer and just cut that off. Okay, so I'm going to just glue this down. Just kind of tucked over here out of the way a little bit. And if it wants to hang off the side, that'd be fine. Of course, I'm just avoiding those little, like, everywhere I put the little red dots. And I'm just going to put some dimensionals on the back of this, and then just pop it right here. Alright guys, so that's that. So thanks for watching. Just a little something different that you can do with it, you know, make a little gift box. And I love to do that with a lot of the Becca's designs, because they lend themselves to that so well. So thanks for watching guys. I'll have the links in the description box. Images coming up. And I do get this question, so if you're signing up this month, this is the APG you will get, and then I believe you can sign up until towards the end of the month. If you're already signed up, I know I heard from a lot of you guys, you already have yours, so that's really great. If you were signed up for months before, because I was just going to put it sideways, but I mean, we can put it right down the center. I don't know. I always like a little something like this, but you know what, we'll just put it right here then. Yeah, so hopefully yours are already in the mail getting to you. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Bye now.